This is the first in a new series of GCN nutritional videos. These are all recipes that are simple, quick, easy to make, cheap ingredients, and quite tasty for how healthy they are. The first one being banoffee pie for breakfast. Yep, that's right, something that tastes like cake for breakfast, and it's all based on oats. You need to soak it, ideally overnight, so it's actually perfect to make the night before a long ride to eat in the morning, or you can put in a pot and take to work with you for after your training session. The only ingredients you'll need for this are some fine porridge oats, some low-fat milk, some low-fat Greek yogurt, some muscovado sugar, which is really tasty stuff. If you can't find muscovado sugar, then any kind of dark brown sugar is okay, but muscovado is delicious. A few drops of vanilla essence, a banana, a pinch of salt if you like, some coffee, and if you're having a bit of a treat, a square of dark chocolate. So if you're going to eat this breakfast at home, you can make it in a glass, and then it actually looks pretty cool as well. Super simple. You tip your oats into your tall glass, try not to spill them, stir in just a pinch of salt, and if you have problems with your blood pressure and you're avoiding salt, then leave this step out. But if you've done a long ride, there's nothing wrong with a bit of salt. Pour over a large espresso, so about 50 to 60 mils of coffee. Add a few drops of vanilla essence, just a tiny bit, otherwise it's super strong vanilla essence. The next step is to add 1 tablespoon, which is about 15 grams of muscovado sugar. This mixes with the oats, the coffee, and eventually the milk overnight, and it goes all creamy and delicious when you let it sit for long enough. And it tastes like toffee, coffee, oats. Yum. Next up, we add 200 milliliters of low-fat milk. And if you're vegan, you can use a non-dairy alternative, although be aware it's got less protein in usually. Once you've given your oat mixture a good stir, you just need to peel and slice your banana. For the nutritional value, I have calculated this recipe based on an average sized banana, which is apparently 100 grams when peeled. Now simply layer the banana on top of your oat mixture, and the important thing here is not to stir it, because you want a layered effect for your banoffee pie. Obviously the oats are still a bit liquid, but don't worry, all that liquid will be soaked up by the oats overnight. The next step is to mix a second spoon of muscovado sugar with your 150 grams of low-fat Greek yogurt. And you should probably measure out your muscovado sugar because it's a bit rough like this, but never mind. Muscovado sugar mixed with yogurt is absolutely delicious. It makes this lovely caramel, toffee, treacly tasting, creamy topping. It's actually really healthy. Now simply pour your yogurt toffee sauce on top of the banana. And again, don't stir it. And it should just about fit in a pint glass, which most people have lying around at home. And there you have it. It's pretty much done. All you need to do now is leave it to sit in the fridge overnight. The oats will soak up all the liquid and they'll taste deliciously creamy by morning. Now the really cool thing is that despite tasting like cake, this is actually really quite healthy. It's got 29 grams of protein in this pint glass, which is about the most you can absorb in a single sitting. It's also got nearly 800 calories, so it's definitely a hearty breakfast. I would recommend it for before a long ride where you're not going to have too much intensity early on, or after a super hard training session. And if you want to make it a really luxurious breakfast, simply grate 10 grams, so that's 1 square, of dark chocolate on top, and then it's like a real banoffee pie. It's delicious. There you go, cake for breakfast. You can find all the nutritional values for this recipe down here. If you liked it, feel free to give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos about nutrition in general, why not check out this Ask with Professor Yukendrup, where we put your questions to him.